Caught my wife sexting. What are the chances that she hasn't met up with anyone in person? I don't even know where to start. I came home from work early because I felt like vomiting all day after I found out this morning, and I couldn't be around people anymore. My wife is 30 and I am 32. Last night, we're sitting on the couch and I'm playing a game on my phone and I see she's on the Reddit on her phone, typing sometimes and smiling. I'm all like, "Babe, what are you posting?" And she shows me a random post that's not her, but then goes to the bathroom saying she's having stomach issues after a couple min with her phone and stays there for a while. It's pretty clear she's typing and not wanting me to see, but I try not to think too much on it. We trust each other, and I don't want to invade her privacy. She doesn't come back to the couch and says she's going to bed very early for her, and I join her later and see she's still occasionally looking at her phone. But I'm exhausted and pass out. When I wake up today, I have the strangest feeling inside me. Like I know something is horribly wrong and it has to do with last night. I really shouldn't have done this when I had this presentation at work today, but I can't help it. When she's in the shower, I snoop on her phone. I don't have much time, but I look on her Reddit account. Turns out she has a couple throwaway accounts where she's all up sexting with guys. I'm almost throwing up typing this. It's so disgusting. I see dick pics, her boobs, explicit fantasies, etc. Like seriously, what the hell? Is this real? I don't think she knows these people judging by the age of the messages. I never expected this from the mother of my kids in a million years. In some way, this feels worse than if she were sexting with a friend or coworker. Like, how does she get off on people that she doesn't even know? Am I that horrible of a husband where she needs attention on this low level? Where me telling her she's beautiful and making love to her in person isn't enough, and she needs it from strangers. It's not like we don't have an active sex life. It's not like we're not kinky and engaging in things that give her pleasure. I keep thinking this is all a dream. I didn't have much time to snoop, but I took pics of some of the worst texts with my phone. I went into her texts and email but didn't see anything. I didn't have much time to look though because she was done with the shower. I was numb and didn't confront her. I basically just left for work and yelled I was late and that's it. Whereas we usually get our kids ready together, I say a proper goodbye. Now I've been sitting at home alone for the past hour not knowing what to do. I know the smart thing is to wait to snoop more before I confront her, but I don't think I have the patience for it. I also am not even sure what to do about this. Is this actually cheating for real? Is there any hope that this meant nothing to her and she can stop? I don't even know if I would have the strength to leave her if she can't. What are the chances that random sexts are it, and she hasn't ever met up with anyone in person? I'm so disgusted right now. Next, we have some comments and OP answers some questions. Comment: Man, I'm sorry you're going through this. The only way you're going to know is to sit down and confront her. The best way is to describe your feelings and concerns, or show her what you typed out above. You've done a good job explaining how you feel without name-calling or anything else. Marriage counseling would be a good idea. If she defers, you can always send your evidence to her parents, unless they don't like you. OP: Thanks, man. This is the most optimistic comment. I know I have to prepare for the worst, and she may not show remorse, pretend it's not a big deal, etc. But I still believe I know her. I can't accept that I might be married to a complete stranger. Comment: Yikes. Sharing explicit pics is definitely crossing some boundaries in my marriage. You need to talk about it with your wife. Sharing intimate pics with anyone other than my husband is something I would consider cheating, yes. I'm sorry you're going through this. It sounds like your gut instincts are on point. Comment: Firstly, yes, I would consider that cheating. Even if nothing physical has happened, these are the steps leading up to it, and it's the direction she is heading. As for snooping, don't feel any guilt whatsoever. She's your wife, so she should have nothing to hide. As for confronting her, don't. You're in no state to be doing it. Take a few days, think carefully and plan what you're going to do. Gather more evidence, etc., because who knows what she's getting up to. If you jump into confronting her, you might regret it. For instance, she will delete stuff and put extra security on her phone. If she asks what's wrong, tell her you're not feeling well. OP: I know this is smart advice. Now I'm the one pretending not to feel well in the bathroom because I can't face her right now while she feeds the kids. Maybe I'll be able to look a little more on her phone tonight if I wait till she sleeps. I know for sure I'm not going to be able to get any sleep tonight. I may never sleep again. This feels very painful. Update 1, one day after the first post. I waited a day so I could snoop more, but I didn't find anything more than a couple of explicit text threads. Then, yesterday after kids in bed, I decided to confront. I started by saying, "Are you doing anything inappropriate you'd like to tell me about?" And maybe it was my body language, or she realized something was wrong with me, but she immediately broke down and admitted to it. She had done it once before for a couple days a few months ago. It was a combination of stumbling into it and boredom and wanting validation. She has had issues with her body for a while and wanted some reassurance that she was still attractive, saying I have to say it. So she couldn't believe me when I give her compliments. She claims that she was turned on by the attention, but that she didn't actually get off and only was pretending to. She had no clue what these men actually looked like, besides their dicks obviously. So she said she couldn't actually get into it and didn't even want to take it that far. She compared it to if I had personal chats with someone on OnlyFans, except she wasn't even masturbating. She cried, apologized a million times, and didn't try to blame me at all. She did try to minimize it though, and wouldn't acknowledge the word cheating at first. I had planned to only engage for about 30 minutes, so I set a silent alarm on my phone, and then when it went off, I literally dropped it in the middle of the convo and left for the hotel. That was the hardest thing I'd ever done as she was begging me to not leave. I took some Benadryl but still took a while to fall asleep by myself after silencing my phone and putting it in a drawer so I wasn't tempted. I woke up several times but resisted the urge to check it. But first thing in the morning, I couldn't help it. Obviously, she blew up my phone with texts, calls, etc. saying what you'd expect. She also sent me a long email where she admitted that it was cheating and that she deserved divorce and anything I chose, but she was willing to do anything to get another chance to gain my trust back. I actually went home by 7 because of my kids. She didn't actually threaten to, but in the state she was in, I was afraid she'd hurt herself and then they'd be there alone. We don't have any family close by. Of course, I was afraid for her too, but mostly my heart was racing because of the kids. She hadn't slept all night, and I told her to go sleep and I'd watch the kids, but she took a shower only and drank coffee to help me. We've talked in little bursts throughout the day while they're watching TV. She's crying on and off. She finally is taking a nap now since she's been up all day, and I think I've given her some indication that I'm not planning on walking away from the marriage immediately, even though I haven't said I forgive her or anything close to it. I told her basically I haven't decided, but I don't know how I can trust her again. She says she understands, and she'd feel close to the same way if it were me. She deleted Reddit and also says I have full access to her phone upon request. She says I can track her location or do whatever I want for as long as it takes, or maybe even forever. She admitted that she thought I'd never find out because she was going to end these chats soon enough. But she also admitted she may have done it again in the future if she hadn't gotten caught because in her mind, she was rationalizing it as harmless validation and only pretending to be into it as much as she was. She says she understands that it's not harmless and has hurt me permanently. She claims she never would have met up with anyone. I asked her whether she'd get bored and take it to the next level, and she says she couldn't imagine herself ever doing that. But she also admits she fell into even taking it this far. We're obviously getting marriage counseling. She also said she will start therapy again, had done it once in the past, to figure out why she needs this much validation and how she can overcome this desire. I told her we need to sleep separately, and she volunteered to stay on an air mattress in our daughter's room. I cried too for the first time since this began during one of the convos this afternoon. I hadn't been able to this whole time. I feel like she broke my heart, but I also feel her sorrow. I do know of her intense need for validation. She had a rough childhood where she was abused in different ways by both parents, and then was with an abusive boyfriend who negged her for years before she met me. She is a normal weight, but thinks she's morbidly obese. She thinks she brainwashed me, her words, somehow to get me to stay with her. I truly don't see her as being a manipulative person. She told me she loves me more than anything, and she hates that she hurt me. Said this like 1,000 times. I'm so exhausted. I don't know what I'm hoping, but I just want to not feel this pain. At the very least, I think I'll go ahead with the counseling to see how this can be salvaged. The texts and images still disgust me, but I feel sad more than anger. Thanks everyone for reading this and all the support and comments. I read them multiple times, and a lot of the advice was spot on and helped me get this far. I may update later in another post, but I might also take break from my phone for a few days. Update 2, 8 days after the last update. I hadn't been able to convince myself that it was all. I feel now dumb, but I only recently discovered that you can see recently deleted texts and pics, which I didn't check before in my snooping. So last night when I stayed awake ruminating on it once again, I looked in my wife's phone one last time in the recently deleted texts. Well, I'm sure a lot of you will berate me for being so naive. I found sexts with her coworker, someone I've hung out with several times, who's been to our house with his wife and kid. I found messages indicating that they have met up for sex at his house while his wife is working and kid at school, but she most recently told him they'll have to take a break for a bit, apparently since she got caught sexting. I found a couple sexy pics my wife sent him of her body. I can't get his words out of my head. I'm absolutely horrified. And I'm done. She played me for a fool, swearing up and down that she never physically stepped out. I haven't told her I know yet. My heart is breaking for our kids who will now grow up in a broken home. I truly thought we had the most perfect life a couple weeks ago. I feel like I'm going to break, but I decided not to tell her until I meet with some lawyers this week. I already took pics of the evidence, but I'm in a no-fault state, so I don't know if it's worth anything. I'll follow their advice on what to do. I'm also going to call my brother and see if he can come into town and stay with me for a few days when shit hits the fan. I'm going to try to get her to leave the house and move out, but not sure how. I also want to confront the bastard who's screwing my wife, at their work or in front of his wife. But I won't give in to my revenge fantasies yet. I don't know how I am going to get through this. There are no more updates and the username is deleted from the forum, but there are some answers from OP that give us more details. Comment. Make sure you tell that guy's wife that he has been cheating on her too and show her proof. You'll get through this, man. Most important thing right now is your children, and don't let her manipulate you into staying with her. OP. I'll plan on telling the wife, but want to wait until I meet with the lawyer so that they don't suspect I know. Both me and my wife make good income, and I don't want her to start doing shady shit with our money if she suspects it's over. OP. They sent texts back and forth after I confronted her about the online cheating last week, and in those she said that she couldn't make it to his house this week like they had planned on doing, but she sent a pic to give him some anticipation for later. Those are the texts she deleted, along with others before this last week. Good thing she didn't know about the deleted messages folder either. Or bad thing maybe. I have these thoughts that ignorance would have been bliss, even though I know that's the wrong way to think. Comment. Wow, she really has zero respect. Even after you confronted her, and she was crying, she turned around and still was sending pics and was expecting a hookup with him. Definitely a good thing you found out. She would have manipulated you even further. At least now you know how to handle this. OP. I just can't believe I fell for it all. She added more info than just the chats I found by saying she did it once before. She cried all these tears. She said all the right things. I'm stunned. How can someone be so manipulative? This can't be normal.